So far we have seen how to create apps with the Django admin panel and also how to create apps with the help of the Django shell. So in this class we're going to see how you can create new node with the help of the Django's generic views, that is with the Django's class-based views. Okay, so let's get back to our code. I'm going to close all of this stuff. Okay, and now what we can do is we can go to nodes, and from here go to views.py, and then in the generic we're going to import a new view. I'm going to call this as create view. So I'm going to set this in the beginning. Okay, I'm going to call this as create view. Okay, so let's create that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say class nodes create view. Okay, that inherits from create view, and here we need to set the model, and we'll set that to nodes. Okay, then we need to add some fields. So by default our Nodes app has only two fields, the title field and the text field. So let's add that. So I'm going to say fields is equals to, and I'm going to add title, and the next one I will add text. These are the two stuff which are there. Okay, so once the new node is created, we want the user to go somewhere. So in this case it's called as success URL. Okay, so I'm going to set the success URL to smart/nodes. Now this is the place where all the list of nodes are displayed, right? So as soon as a new node is created, it's going to show up in the nodes list. So that is where we are going to move the user to. Okay, so now that our nodes create view is created, we need to add that into our urls.py. So let's go to urls.py, and here we're going to add in a new path. Okay, so I say path as nodes/new. Okay, and it has views dot nodes create view as view, and then we can actually give it a name. So I'm going to call this name as nodes dot new. I'm going to set the double quotes here. So I'm going to get rid of this one, double quotes. Okay, let's save that. Now that our view is ready, we need to create a new template for our nodes create app. Let's go to templates, nodes, and then here we're going to create a new file. I'm going to call this file as nodes_form.html. And inside that we're going to add all the other stuff, like it's going to extend the base.html, and it's going to load the static files. Okay, and then it has that block content stuff. Okay, so we're going to add all of these things here. So this is where we need to display our form. So in order to display this form, what we can do is we can use the form tag. But before that, we're going to say div.row. Okay, so I need to change that to HTML. So let's change this to HTML. There it is. So div.row. So div.call md. I'm going to call this as 8, maybe. Let's check that out, how that looks. Okay, so I'm going to call this as justify content center. Justify content center. And this is where actually we need to load the form. So we're going to say form, and we're going to set the action here. Okay, so I'm going to set the action to URL, and we're going to set that to nodes.new. That's the place where it is supposed to go. And we're going to set the method here to post. And inside this, we need to call the form. So all you have to do is just call in form. That's it. And below that, we need to add the button. But let's just see how that looks like. Let's get back over here, and I'm going to click on new. As you can see that we have the form, we have the text field with title field and the text field. So all we are missing now is a button. So let's add that. So right below this, we're going to say button. I'm going to call this as submit. Okay, so the type is a submit button, and we're going to give some class for this. We'll say btn sm and then btn success. Let's save that. Let's hit refresh. Okay, so we have the submit button too.